Shalawam, Ananiyah.israel Chag Shal Pasach, if you're also observing. Ananiyah lashawanqadash at the grammar by Baryath. Abala, the Panya Nachna the Haya'a, Ananiyah.israel Natan, Kala Hayaha Basham Mashak Yawashai, for allowing me to see another day, for allowing me to see another Passover, and to be making this video. I am so excited to be back. I know I took some time off and it's been a while since the last time I posted, but I am, Lord willing, back and I'm ready to be consistent. I'm so passionate about coming on this platform and being able to learn as well as teach you guys our native tongue, and I'm so excited to be continuing this series. There's just been so much going on in the last few weeks with school, artwork, the cruise I just got off like 2 days ago, as well as preparing and observing Passover. But I know that, again, this is something that I am passionate about, and I definitely want to make sure that I'm here for you guys. So again, Lord willing, I'll be able to start this series back up and be consistent with my posting. Hopefully, Lord willing, 1 post a week. So as promised, we're going to do a review of our previous lesson, which was the Hebrew alphabet. And if you didn't watch that video, I would highly recommend that you watch that one just to get an idea of the basics of the language. But yeah, we're going to do a review. And since I know you guys were studying and are so dedicated, I know that you're going to pass with flying colors. There are 7 questions in the review, and they're all asked in English, but note that as the lessons progress and get more challenging, this will begin to change. The first question: what sound does this character make? A, la, B, I, or C, za? If you chose C for za, you're correct. The second question: how many characters are there in the Hebrew alphabet? A, 22, B, 23, or C, 26? If you chose A for 22, then you're correct. The third question is, what is the English transliteration for this character? Is it A, ta, B, dana'a, or C, bayath? If you chose B for dana'a, then you are correct. This is the fourth question. How would you spell Shalawam using the transliterations in English? A, Shan, Lamad, Alap, and Mayam. B, Shan, Lamad, Wad, and Mayam. Or C, Shan, Lamad, Wad, and Nayan. If you chose B, you are correct. We're almost finished our review. Now for the fifth question, what character corresponds with this English letter? Is it A, Imak, B, Kap, or C, Lamad? Now this is a trick question because there aren't technically any right answers, because there aren't any characters in the Hebrew alphabet that make the O sound. Because if you remember from our previous lesson, all of the alphabet except for a few exceptions make the A sound. Question 6. To spell the word Salakia, which character would you start off with? A, Chat, B, Imak, or C, Kwaya? If you chose B for Imok, then you are correct. And for number 7, if you haven't gotten any of the other questions right so far, you should definitely get this one right. What direction is Hebrew written? A, right to left, or B, left to right? If you chose A for right to left, then you are correct. And that is all for the review. Good job to those who got them most or all correct. So we're going to talk about how to make something yours. In Hebrew, instead of saying that something is yours, you would basically say it the other way around. For example, instead of saying my book, you would basically say book my. So in Hebrew, to say my book, you would say sapar ya. Sapar is the word for book, and ya is the word you would add at the end. Now, Hebrew is a gendered language, so there are specific phrases for brothers and also for sisters, but we will get into that later. But for this, both brothers and sisters can use this. So for the next example, we're going to be using the word father, which is Abba in Hebrew. So in order to say my father, you would say Abba ya. And for the last example that we're going to be using, you could say Bayath, which is a word for home. If you want to say my home, you could say Bayathya. The next thing we're going to be looking into how to describe people. Now, there is a long list of subjects, and I won't be using all of them today. I will instead have instructions for the Quizlet in the description box. But to go over a few, to say I'm or I, you would use Anya. To use me, you would say Awathya. If you want to say you would say Atha. To say he, you would say Hawa'ath. To say she, you would say Haya'a. To say we, you would say Anachnawa. And now we're going to get into the masculine and feminine versions of words. To say your, if you're a brother, you would say Atham. To say your, if you're a sister, you would say Athan. To say they, if you are a brother, you would say Ham. And to say they, if you are a sister, you're going to say Han. Now we're going to talk about plurals. If you want to make anything plural, you're going to add it at the end of the word. Now, like I said before, Hebrew is a gendered language, meaning that there are going to be separate terms depending on if there is a brother or sister speaking. So, for example, if you're a brother, you're going to use yam at the end of a word when making it plural. And if you're a sister, you're going to use wath at the end of a word when making it plural. Now, this works whether you are trying to increase the quantity of something, or if you are trying to change an ordinary word into a word that ends in ing. Now, I understand this might be a little confusing, but I will be using an example. For this example, I'm going to use the feminine version because I am a sister. So for an example, I can say Anya Dayad Gazar Wath, I have carrots. Or I could say Anya Shamai Wath, which means I'm listening. And just to put it in perspective, if you're a brother, you can say Anya Shamar Yam Atha, which is a little weird because it translates to I'm watching you, but you get the point. So we did already talk about masculine and feminine terms, but I definitely wanted to give you guys more of an example of when you would use it. And one of the instances where you would use it is numbers. This is just an example, but there are plenty of other phrases and terms that uses gendered masculine and feminine terms, and other phrases and words that don't. So the last thing we're going to be talking about is sentence structure. Hebrew is a very straightforward language. It is very simplified and is very much in English in that way. Whereas though a lot of the phrases are just straightforward and exactly as you would say them as in English. For an example, if you were to say, I'm hungry, I'm going to eat in English, to translate that into Hebrew, you would say, Ananiyah, la akal, which is a straight word by word translation and it's straightforward, as you can see here. There are some exceptions to this, like in the phrase good morning, which is bawakwar tawab in Hebrew. Bawakwar means morning and tawab means good, which would mean that instead of saying good morning, you're basically saying morning good. There are plenty of other phrases just like this where it is swapped or it is in reverse as to how it would be in English, which is totally okay, and it seems a little scary at first, but after practicing and getting used to those terms, it is very easy to pick up. For homework, I would suggest watching over this video just to practice your pronunciation on certain words and to further get comfortable with speaking Hebrew. I will again post the instructions on how to access my Quizlet in the description down below, which will have all of the words in the form of flashcards. And of course, next lesson we are going to have a review, so I hope you guys are going to continue to practice and do your homework. So that was it for today's video. I'm so excited to be back and I can't wait to continue to post these videos for you guys. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe and to comment any suggestions that you have below for future lessons and video topics. For those of you who have shown support, I appreciate you so much, since so much time and effort goes into planning, recording, and releasing my videos. And I hope you continue to show that support and share my videos to those who you know who are zealous and excited to learn our language. Since I am now observing Passover, and especially since those who already celebrated Passover, it just passed, I do want to make a video on a few Passover terms, or maybe a few things on unleavened bread or words related to the topic of the feast. So make sure to look out for that video, because Lord willing, I will also be posting a video with a few words and phrases related to Passover. Definitely a good chunk of phrases and words related to it. But be sure to look out for the next video, the next topic after that Passover video, which will be on introducing yourself and conversational phrases. When it comes to learning Hebrew, I definitely want to get you guys talking and speaking conversationally at the beginning, right after you learn, these basic topics, just so you can be able to really speak the language and immerse yourself with other speakers. We'll be learning other fundamental topics like numbers, time, animals, things of that nature. And until next time, let the ra'ah bakwarwa.